Hi, I'm Chris Favre. I'm the Web Content Manager, CFE Media and Technology. I'm here live at MODEX in Atlanta to learn all about the latest material handling, logistics, supply chain management, and more. I'm pleased to be joined by Doug Schuchard, the Global Logistics Manager at Beckoff Automation. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
All right, so, how's the show going?
Actually, going really good. Very well attended this year. A lot of interest in Beckhoff technology.
Yeah, and, with intralogistics, how have your technologies increased and improved and benefited warehouse managers? Because they're like your biggest customer here at this event. How are they? How are you working to help them?
Yeah, well, a couple different ways. EtherCAT is one major way that we are really improving the performance of automation technology, but we're also able to really improve the life cycle of the control systems. We see very often the issues that they're having is with constant life cycle issues of the automation causing re-engineering. And so
Right.
Beckhoff's control architecture really protects against those obsolescence issues,
Yeah.
in part because we're able to add a lot of functions of the automation system all in one CPU, one PLC, or one hardware device as opposed to separate controllers.
Yeah, and warehousing and intralogistics as a whole have gone through so many changes in the last few years. COVID has really changed the game. There's an increase in emphasis on automation. There's an increased emphasis on doing more with less because there are fewer people there, and so that's really changed the dynamic in the last few years. Where do you see things going in the next couple of years as far as the warehousing and intralogistics industries are concerned?
Yeah, well, it's a great point, and part of what we have seen during that period is the labor market has been tenuous, and so companies are looking to add more types of robots, robotic technology to offset the labor market to make sure that even during peak season, instead of looking for a bunch of additional labor, they can actually supplement with robots to increase their throughput. And that's another advantage of Beckhoff because we don't have to have a separate robot controller.
Yeah.
So what I had mentioned earlier about combining functions all into a single automation controller, we can actually run the kinematics for a robot right in the material handling PLC. And we're able to do that because we take advantage of all cores of a multi-core processor. So we can have the material handling PLC in one core, the robot kinematics in a separate core, and that enables us to execute those synchronously.
Right.
So we don't have to slow down or stop the material handling system in order for a robot to do a pick.
That was going to kind of bring me to my next point. Is like robots are everywhere. Look at the show. I mean, you can't go 5 feet without seeing a robot, and particularly AMRs in particular, autonomous mobile robots. They have exploded in the last few years. The industry is growing by leaps and bounds, and you're seeing it not just in warehousing, but in every kind of industry. And how is Beckoff, as it pertains to warehousing and intralogistics, kind of getting these robots? You mentioned it already to some degree. How we're getting them together? Are there anything else Beckoff is doing to get these robots to play not only nice together but working in harmony?
Yeah. So we have actually a complete portfolio for mobile robots. So we would include AGVs, AMRs into the mobile robots. And some of the benefits that we have in that portfolio is, again, the fact that we can combine all of the technology into a single controller.
Right.
When we look at mobile robots, the cavity for the controls is getting smaller and smaller.
Right.
And so a traditional mobile robot would have 3 separate CPUs. It would have the PLC.
Right.
It would likely have a navigation PC.
Right.
And it would have a safety controller.
Right.
And we're able to combine that into one Beckhoff controller.
Right.
So again, we're improving the life cycle by doing that, but we're reducing the cavity required for the control. So we have a very compact control solution for mobile robots. And then we're also able to add further benefits in terms of cost and everything by combining those.
And all made by Beckoff.
All made by Beckhoff. Beckhoff has grown organically by developing our own technology. We don't go out and acquire other companies in order to grow our technology. We've actually grown organically. And what that means is that all of our products and technology are very well integrated. They
Yeah.
work very well together because they were all developed in-house.
That's been a trend and a theme, not only just with Beckhoff, but several other companies. Like you're building off of your own expertise, what you already know, and applying it to other applications, other technologies. You already have the core concept, but you're branching yourself on becoming more horizontal in that respect because
Yes.
trying to be one something for everybody.
Yes, yes, absolutely. We think that's a core strength because we know in the industry that a lot of automation companies are acquiring different technology, and of course they can grow quicker
Yeah.
that way. But what we hear from our customers is it also means that their technology isn't very integrated,
Right.
and support for the technology is also a struggle.
Right.
So by developing everything organically
Mhm.
in house, we really understand the
Yeah.
core technology, and everything integrates very well together.
I'll close out on this. Warehousing's gone through many changes, and standardization, has really gone through some real changes the last few years. Partly because of COVID, also partly because of some of the new integrations that have been happening. What impact has that had on how you've kind of approached the warehousing and intralogistics industries?
Well, I think there's different trends that we still see that are shifting in the industry. Partly COVID, partly post-COVID, because post-COVID there was a global supply chain crisis, of
Right.
course,
Right.
and that has made people think differently about their automation.
Mhm.
And the more open an automation platform is,
Yeah.
the more protected a customer is from supply chain issues.
Right.
And so supply chain is a lot more tenuous, I'll say, than anyone thought. We saw that. And so Beckhoff is the most open control platform really in the world. We support every open field bus protocol. We support all the open enterprise protocols, support for public cloud services. I think we support now over 35 open protocols
Right.
from our control software, but also EtherCAT is the most open field bus protocol in the world, supporting Ethernet IP, Profinet, but even legacy protocols that might be present in a brownfield site like Profibus and DeviceNet and Open. And that means that if there was another supply chain crisis and a sensor device or a robot or whatever, all of a sudden the customer couldn't acquire that any longer, but they could acquire a slightly different sensor on a different field bus or whatnot. It's no problem ever adding those devices to a Beckhoff system. And so you really have complete protection from supply chain issues. Plus, we produce all of our own motherboards for our own PCs and PLCs. And that also provides us some unique benefits because we're not waiting for a motherboard from some company. If we are not able to source a component, we can find a different component and redesign that in the motherboard. So we have much more control, which also gives us a much longer life of our industrial PCs and PLCs.
Good. Well, thank you very much, Doug. I appreciate you taking the time today. Enjoy the rest of Modex. Hope it goes well for you guys.
Perfect.
And if you enjoyed this video, we have many more just like this from different trade shows all over. You can find them on our YouTube channel, Control Eng TV. You can also find this video on our website, www.controleng.com. I'm Chris Favre, Web Content Manager, CFE Media and Technology. Thanks for watching.